Hello and welcome to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP
and Stacey D and Dream.
and Dream. I am JP Craddock. That's the one and only, the lovely Stacey D Love, and her new little baby, Dream. What's the full name for Dream?
She looking for a daddy.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my. Oh, we going to find her a daddy today.
You gonna find her daddy?
When we get to the dating segment, yes, we going to find Dream a daddy.
Okay, her real name is Dreamy Lynn Head-Chisholm.
Okay, so Dream is here in the station today.
You call her Dream for short, but her real name is Dreamy.
Yes. Coming up on the show today, we have our question of the day, which is, I actually have two to choose from. And here's what I want.
This is what I'm saying. I cannot work under these conditions. I cannot work under these conditions. First of all, if everybody remember last week, JP was on Stacey D because Stacey D has been a little tardy lately.
A little.
And he wanted to blame it on someone else, but no, it was just life. What happens in life, you know? So anyway, JP was not here for our mic check or our camera check. Now you want to bring in another question today that I have not did any research on. I'm going on strike. I cannot work under these conditions.
This is so not true. I was on time today.
How?
They left me outside in the parking lot for 10 minutes. And I still made it in before the time for the show. I called you. I called Mr. Walker. I was about to bust the window and climb in.
All you got to do is honk your horn. That's what I do.
To get into the station, and I honked the horn too.
Well, you park way out there. I make my own.
They tried to prevent me from being on time, but I still was on time. Now, listen, two options. I want you to pick one because we need to get to the dating app experience segment today. So pick between these two questions of the day to see which one we will get through. Well, I came up with another one, but I want you to pick the one that you think will get through the fastest, all right? The first one is, I'm pretty sure that my father is having an affair. Should I confront him about it? Should I tell my mom, or should I just mind my own business? The other option, here's the other question that we could discuss and answer today. What does the therapy for addictions look like, and can it be used for all addictions or just drug addictions? I think
both of those are going to be forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we have to do this one eventually because in a previous show, when we talked about the 6 different types of cheating and cheaters, we said that we would cover addiction therapy. Mm-hmm. Why don't we? I think this about the father is going to be fast.
You think so?
Yes, let's roll with that.
Okay, so then next week, everyone, we will discuss the
treating addictions.
Treating addictions.
All right. So, what's your check-in for today, D? What is that? What is that blank?
Okay, my check-in. Okay, I got 2 check-ins. Okay.
You know this part of the show. It must be something you don't want us to know.
Why are you saying that?
Because you've been holding back lately.
Holding back on what?
I was watching a previous show. The show where we talked about the 6 types of cheaters, and you was holding back on your check-in. You didn't want to let everybody know what's been going on with the D. Because something's going on.
Okay, anyway, my check-in today is that I just want to, because everybody knows that I do own 2 bail bonding businesses. So with me on 2 bail bond businesses, I also have bounty hunters, and I just want to give out a good shout to Keith for going to court for me today. I really appreciate you. Come on by and get your plate.
Money?
No.
Oh.
Plate. I'm going to tighten them up. Come on over and get your plate on Easter. I got your greens and your ham and your mac and cheese, which you love some. Ham. Ham. Just ham.
Okay.
Your greens, your macaroni and cheese.
Chitlins?
No, I don't do those.
Okay.
I can't get past the smell. And second, I just want to give props out to my colleague, my best friend.
Hold on, I want to talk about bail bonding.
Okay,
I want to talk about...
Now, you know we on a tight crunch now.
I know, just really quick, because a lot of times when people think of bounty hunters, the image that comes to mind is like somebody who's half hillbilly.
What's his name? What's called the bounty hunter?
Dog the bounty hunter.
Dog the bounty hunter. Yeah.
And people do not think about this being a profession that African Americans go into.
There they go again.
I don't know what's going on.
It's so hard to think about.
So listen, this is not a profession that people oftentimes think about African Americans going into, but there are black bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Tracking folks down.
And I'm the only black female bail bonds owner in the whole state of Kansas also. I think it's 2 or 3 of us in Missouri, but the whole state of Kansas, no.
There you go.
And I have 2. First ASAP, and the next one is in and out bail bonding, because y'all know I stutter on my vowels.
Nobody noticed that.
Oh, well, now y'all do.
We've been talking about this. Let me tell everybody this. Stacey D claims that she's always been a stutterer, right? I have known the D for over 30 years. I never noticed it. People do not. You notice it. You are more self-conscious about it than anybody else.
Yes, I am.
I doubt anyone who watches this show, and a lot of people watch it after we have recorded because, you know, people pretending to be at work. But
I bet you my bestie is watching and my friend is watching. Maybe. I don't know.
Your friend, who could we be talking about?
Just my friend.
Oh, your friend? Okay. I thought you was talking about my brother. Okay. We're going to talk about him. But this is something, if you all have noticed Stacey D stuttering, please, in the chat, whenever you get around to watching the show, let me know. I don't think that this is something that is as noticeable as what you think. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because people who stutter a lot of times they feel hopeless that they can get it to a point where it is manageable. But you probably stuttered a lot more as a kid.
I wouldn't talk.
Okay. And you are proof that a person can learn to manage stuttering and can get to the point where it's not really even noticeable.
It is a physical disability, though.
Yes.
It's a physical disability. So you have to train that one little thing that jiggles.
What? Who is what? Who's
the one little thing that jiggles in your throat.
Your epiglottis in the back?
Yeah. You have to learn how to manage that.
That plays a role in stuttering. Mm-hmm. Get out. I didn't know.
Yeah, you have to train it and exercise it. I had to do like wording exercises and things like that nature. And then it's also about me thinking. My mind, that's part of ADHD, my mind is working so much faster.
Real fast.
Than what my mouth can say. And that's another part of it. So it works together. It works together.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that most people stutter periodically, a little, myself included, when we are doing what you just described. When you are thinking really fast, you have a lot on your mind, you're thinking really fast, and you are trying to quickly determine what you want to push out of your mouth first, that can cause a little bit of stuttering. Because I stutter sometimes on the show because
now stuttering and stumbling are 2 different things.
This is true. I'm talking about maybe it's stumbling.
It's stumbling.
But it is because you are so unpredictable. Stacey D shows up at the station and wings it every week. She wings it. I show up. I got a book right here, right? And
it's all up here in my mind.
And so she will throw a curveball that forces me to have to think really, really quick on my feet. It's kind of fun because I like to see if I can. It's almost like a challenge, really. To see, okay, what is she going to throw and am I going to roll with it? And as you all see, I tend to roll with it. But it will make you stumble a little bit. And I think it's a little bit of stuttering.
Like last week when I said I want to be a boy and a girl. When we did the role play.
The role play itself threw me off.
Yes.
And when you threw out the part about the kids saying, yes, I was not prepared for that. Okay. So that is some of the fun and the challenge of doing a show with Stacey D is you don't know what she's going to do. And for you all who are watching the show, you get to see how we just have to think quick on our feet. But my point is, for those of you who stutter, because when I see kids in therapy who stutter, they do not feel oftentimes that they can ever get beyond it, but they can.
I used to didn't speak. I refused to read aloud when I was in elementary school. That's one of the reasons why I had to go to a private school, because I'll be ready to fight. That's how Stacey D started fighting, because kids used to try to make fun of me, and then I get mad and I start fighting.
Psychological bullying.
Yes, but I wasn't gonna get bullied.
Oh no, I believe you wasn't, and you fought a lot. But I'm glad you explained, because where the fighting started, and bullying is the onset for either going in the direction of becoming a fighter, because you're determined
and having
you're not going to be
a lot
bullied.
of self-esteem. I have lots of self-esteem.
Yes, but for those who's, and I think it has to do with parenting.
It was
For those who do not have parents who do a good job of uplifting them in their self-worth and their self-esteem.
I had the best. Mildred and Willie Perry. Heavenly thank you.
For those kids who lack that support that they need, bullying has the opposite effect and can cause them to be almost like imploding or to retreat unto themselves. And those are the people who I see in therapy as adults who are still experiencing the self-esteem and self-worth and insecurity issues that are rooted in childhood bullying.
Exactly.
And so you are a really good, representative of, hey,
a representative.
This is how this can also, this is a positive side of how this can go, depending upon how the adults handle it with the kids. The stuttering or whatever the disability is, that how you handle it with your children can determine how it affects them for the rest of their lives.
Somebody said they watching. Who's watching?
My glasses in my wife's car.
Mildred?
My wife.
That's his wife.
Oh, hi, Mildred.
Yes. She watches to see what you gonna do.
She don't want to be in trouble at home.
All right.
But also, we'll have another little check-in. One of our counterparts, I'm going to say his name out loud, Ron Wilson, was talking to him the other day, and we were trying to find a black... Oh, we got two people watching. Who's the other person?
D,
Michelle.
stay focused.
Yeah, my friend.
D.
Okay, so Ron Wilson, and we was trying to find a black therapist, and whose name he's had at the top of his list after him, because he's the one I'll do all. And my next
Ron
person
Wilson.
was Gerald. I was
Ron
like, I
is
know.
wonderful.
I'm like, but I can't do Gerald. And he's like, dog, I forgot you can't. But yeah.
You were talking to him about
Well, we were just talking about black therapists.
Okay. Yeah, Ron is wonderful.
Then one of your frat brothers came up, and I was like, yeah, I met him before, yeah. So,
yes.
So I just want to say that you, the number two, because when I say
alphas
he's
do
number
therapy.
one, he's number one. Ron Wilson say he number one, and you number two.
Of course, he said he's number
but
one.
we gotta say he's number one because guess what? He was my role model and my mentor.
And he's older than me.
Yeah, he's older than us. Quite a bit older than us, actually.
A lot older.
So, yeah, so he most definitely was our mentor because that's who got you started in private practice, or at least gave you a push on some good information.
Him and Mike Boniello. I saw Ron Wilson for supervision on how to do in-home therapy, and I saw Mike Boniello on the addictions piece, and working with sex offenders. So yes, but
that's your main
of the few black male therapists in this city, let me say 3 of them are alphas. And by few, the list is short, like 5, 6, maybe. And alphas do therapy.
Alphas do
Ron's,
therapy.
Ron's not an alpha, but you know,
his brother's a noob though.
He's still wonderful. Well, that doesn't count. I'm just kidding. To all the noobs out there.
You about to start a problem.
To all of the men of Kappa Alpha Psi out there, I'm just kidding. All right.
Hey.
So let's get to mental health and illness in the news, okay? Because
so you're not doing a check-in?
We used up my check-in time talking about overcoming stuttering and that there are black folks doing bounty hunting and bail bonding. So let's just get straight to mental health and illness in the news.
Don't forget, we got to give a shout out to our Supreme Court Justice now.
Okay, talk about that real quick.
Thank you.
Because what I'm going to talk about is heavy.
That's all I want to say.
You need to say more than that, do you?
No, I don't need to say more than that. I said what I want to say.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so she's not going to give the name of our new and first African-American
number 1
female Supreme Court justice that she was confirmed despite the fact they tried to say that she goes easy on sex offenders, which was not true.
Not true.
She did sentencing within the limitations of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And
so who made the law?
There are different types of sex offenders, and you cannot, put every sex offender in prison for the rest of their life.
No, they can't. A lot of them do need.
It depends on the weight and therapy. The gravity of the offense.
Most definitely.
All right. So that's what I was wanting you to also cover, Stacey D. And her name, what's her name?
Oh, hell. Neither one of us know the name. Hold on.
Mr. Walker.
You don't know the name either?
What's the name of the new?
Natrina Brown. Yeah, Miss Brown. Thank you.
Judge Brown.
Judge. You know what? You sure right. Get it right. Judge Brown.
All right. Let's get to mental health and illness in the news. As you all know, there is a gentleman who, in New York City, a gentleman set off a smoke bomb on the subway and then opened fire on passengers. He shot 10 people and more than a dozen other people were wounded, partly in the stampede to get out of there and all those different things. This gentleman's name is Frank James. He is 62 years old, an African-American gentleman. Now, there were social media rants from him about how he has been angry enough to shoot people and watch them die. But here's something to think about. Because, and this goes to the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, because KUAW, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And so let's take a look at the understanding piece, because I want everyone to understand this on a deeper level. And I do like for us to look at all sides of situations. So this is a man who shot 33 rounds at close range on the subway and did not kill a single person. There was a gentleman who was sitting right next to him who is perfectly fine. He had unexploded grenades that he did not use. He had a hatchet that he did not use. It looks like he was actually shooting at people's legs. Okay, he intentionally did not kill anyone. As long as it wasn't the
left leg.
What?
As long as he didn't shoot him on the left leg. The left leg is your main artery.
Oh, okay.
That's from my nursing stuff at Aspire Home Health Center.
Okay. Stay focused. We done talked about your other businesses. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so here's the other thing that he did. It appears as though he was shooting at their legs. He left identifying information at the scene of the crime. Okay, he left his keys, all these different things. And then he called and turned himself in. Now, they are reporting that just prior to this, he had ranted on social media about just his anger and his frustrations. He had recently become homeless. He was sleeping in his vehicle. He had lost his last opportunity as far as having a home was concerned. He's quite possibly unemployed. When you take a look at that, this is describing a man who seems to have been exasperated and feeling defeated with the struggles
of life
to survive in America, to provide for oneself. And I want us to take a look at that. I am not excusing, let me say this, I am not excusing the fact that he shot people on a subway by any means. I'm not sure that he should get life in prison, which is what they're saying that he will be facing. But what I am saying is that we do have to look at all sides of a situation, and we have to take a look at the resources that we have available to people who are struggling financially. And I'm not just talking about the unemployment rate. I'm talking about the unemployment rate. I'm talking about homelessness. I'm talking about all these things. Now, apparently, it's quite possible that he has a mental health condition, because one of the witnesses who saw him after the shooting said that he was somewhere talking to himself, having a dialogue, an exchange with himself or with someone who is not visible to the eye.
They do that when they in jail.
Which mental what?
They do that when they in jail because they think they're gonna get a lighter sentence and stuff.
He turned himself in.
Yeah, he turned himself in.
He called to turn himself in. This was before he told them where he called the police and said, meet me at McDonald's. They called him before he got to the McDonald's. He was 2 blocks away. But when you take a look at the possibility that there's a mental health component, which could complicate gaining employment, being employed, being able to keep a job, which then gets into disability, but that's not an easy, quick solution, because when it comes to applying for disability, for mental health issues, a person has to apply and reapply and reapply and reapply. And most of my clients have to hire an attorney
and still reapply and reapply.
Yes. When they are trying to get these services in place for their kids. For adults who do not have the money to hire an attorney to try to get disability, they are struggling with mental illness, and some mental health diagnoses result in a person getting chronically fired from jobs because they're struggling so much. And so I just want everyone to take a look at all of the surrounding circumstances when situations like this take place, because that's a part of having true empathy for everyone involved. I want us to have empathy for the victims who were shot, and for the fact that a lot of them, even who were not shot or injured in some way, are going to have some PTSD, and some of them will have it for the rest of their lives. If they do not get
But I really don't
treatment.
Believe that he was trying to kill anyone.
It doesn't look like it.
He didn't have it in his heart to want to kill anyone. But I think it was a cry for help, and he didn't know any other type of way to do it. So
he wanted some help.
He just wanted some help. And it's really sad, because I think that we need to start saying, it needs to be more out here saying, hey, for mental health assistance, help, resources, contact this number. I mean, and it was really bad because a lot of people didn't know about the quick trips and the safe place for children.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that it needs to be something out here to let us know about these. Hey, answer the phone. They want to get on Speaking of Unspeakable.
What were you saying before you immediately got distracted by that phone?
He gonna be in here talking about hello, KUAW.
They can't hear him.
They can't.
No.
I bet you they can't.
I don't think so.
That says it's a spam call.
D, what were you saying? I'm moving on. Are you done, D? Because let's get to the question of the day.
Question of the day.
All right. I'm pretty sure that my father is having an affair. Should I confront him about it? Should I tell my mom? Or should I just mind my own business? There are multiple ways that this can be handled. Now, D, what are some of the ways that you were thinking before I go? Because I have 2 ways that this could be handled.
Is a child a girl or a boy?
I have no idea. I have no idea. That's the question.
Okay.
It doesn't say. What does that matter?
It matters a lot because daughters have a better relationship with their dad than boys have with their dad. Okay, so a daughter will come to, Dad, we need to talk. What's going on between you and Mom? A son gonna be like, hey, so you cheating on my mama? So it's 2 different type of ways. And a girl will...
but you're still saying they should talk to him. Regardless of how they talk to him.
I know, and I got 2 different spots about that because we don't know what Mama and Daddy been going on. Daddy probably been cheating on Mama since you was born, but now since you're older and you're looking at things and like, let me follow my daddy. Or guess what? Older men love younger women, might be doing one of your friends or one of your friends' friends. So you just accidentally found out about it. But it's been going on for years. There's just so many different levels to that one.
Okay.
There's a lot of levels to it.
Here's some of the options that I was thinking about.
JP gonna give you options.
One way that you could handle it is, I do suggest talking to your father about this. Now, one option that is frequently taken is, hey, I don't want to have to tell Mom that you cheating. I need you to tell her. I'm going to give you a certain amount of time to let her know.
So you giving your daddy ultimatums? You giving your daddy ultimatums?
Well, you have the power because you caught him cheating. So yes, you are in the position to give ultimatums and options because you have the power. And he's probably going to be willing to shut up and listen because he's cold busted. So a lot of times what people say, and friends do this also, if they're out and they see their friend's spouse with someone else. I would, because I don't want to hurt my friend. I'm going to let you hurt her. I'm not going to hurt my friend. Right. And so you say, I'm going to give you a certain amount of time to let Mom know that you are having an affair. And if you don't, I'm going to let her know. I need you to know it'll be better coming from you. That is one option for how it is done. Now, another way that this could be handled is... You just got that off the cuff, did you? Taking... I thought about it on the way here because I don't think I have it in my notes. But another way that this could be handled is looking a little deeper into it, because I thought about the fact that we covered 6 different types of cheating. And so the question is, if you talk to your dad and this is an isolated incident of cheating, and by isolated incident, what I mean is he does not have a history of cheating. And this is an isolated incident, isolated in that it's one incident of having intercourse with somebody or emotional cheating, or one incident of him having a full relationship outside of the marriage. I can see in that instance, a person might say, because we also did that show on whether or not people can handle the truth, the information about cheating. And so we don't have any information on the mother. We already did a lot of foundation for this thing. Okay, I see why you leading up to this. And so if it turns out that it's an isolated incident, I can understand a person saying, well, listen, this is what I am wanting you to do. Because yes, you're the child, but you still are in a position to be like, I'm trying to avoid telling Mama. You need to end it. And you need to get some help. You need to go to therapy and work through this. If you end up deciding to tell her later, then so be it. That's if it's an isolated incident. But when you think about the fact that we talked about other types of cheating and other types of cheaters, if this is a situation where your dad is a chronic cheater with a history of cheating, I can understand encouraging him to go to therapy, but that does kind of put you in a position where you may still need to say, I need you to tell her, or I'm going to tell her, because you have a problem. You have a problem with cheating. This is not an isolated incident. Now, if you decide to go with, okay, you know what, you don't want to tell her for whatever reason, she can't handle it, or it's an isolated incident and you've already ended it, or you're willing to end it, you're willing to go to therapy and get some help so that this does not occur again. If you take that option, I also suggest saying to your dad, if this ever happens again, you are no longer able to say that it was an isolated incident, something outside of your character that you would not typically do. If this happens again, you're telling her. And we're going to tell about this time too. We're going to tell about the next time and this time.
So how you think your mom going to feel about, my child already knew this? See, I'm going to tell y'all the way Stacey Head would have handled that. Before I really got saved, I would have found out who the girl is and I would have beat her down. I'm gonna beat the brakes. You're gonna leave my daddy alone. Point blank. Period. Now that's not the right way, but I'm just letting you know what I would have done.
That's an option.
that's option
Track
number 4.
Track down the mistress and beat her up.
Beat her down. And tell you, what you're not gonna do is hurt my mama. And then tell daddy, guess what, daddy? You can get some of this too. Keep on, because what y'all not gonna do is be hurting my mama.
That is an option. I guess you can take that option, but the goal is to eliminate the problem of cheating. Now, here's something to think about. This question made me think about years ago. I did have an adult female client who caught her father cheating, and she told her mother. The parents ended up getting a divorce, and her siblings turned on her and
her
felt
fault.
Like you
messed up the family,
ruined, you split this family up because you got a big mouth. You didn't need to tell her. She left him and never looked back. So their position was she couldn't handle it. Now, I don't know if maybe the couple also went to some couples therapy and maybe it didn't work out, or I don't know if the mother just left instantly. But one of the things that she was working on in therapy was that my siblings and I have a very strained relationship that has never recovered from this. They are still angry with me and still blame me. And they were full adults at this point.
Everybody grown and out the house.
Grown and out the house.
Sometimes
they was
just
like,
can't handle it. Yeah, they just.
And something that you were talking about is who is aligned with who. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that I totally agree that daughters are always more aligned with fathers and sons are more aligned with mothers. I think it kind of depends.
Nadine is getting divorced by you when Sasha get about 13. So come on, tell me again.
I don't think she would agree that Sasha is more aligned with me, that she's a daddy's girl. My sister, though, she always says that. But I know some women who have, well, my sister, for example, had a extremely close relationship with our mother. We both did. So there are some mother-daughters.
You got
sons and daughters.
I have sons and daughters, exactly.
You got a daughter living with you right now.
And won't get out, not by choice.
Because she's ride or die for her mama.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
She's a mama's girl.
No, she's really a daddy's girl. Really?
She's still a daddy's
girl.
She's
still a daddy's
she ain't
girl.
With her daddy.
Because he lives in Wyoming.
And they got houses there.
He's remarried.
And
she don't like the stepmother because she's a daddy's girl.
Okay. But I'm just saying that it depends on the nature of the relationship. And in the situation with this client, her siblings who were closer to the father turned on her. More so than her siblings that were closer to the mother. And she was closer to the mother. She's like, this fool cheating on my mom. We ain't gonna be able to do that. That we ain't gonna be able to do. And she did not regret exposing the affair, but she did suffer and experience some pain from
most definitely
losing her relationship with those siblings, that were like, you should have kept your mouth shut. Now, we are not discouraging you from taking option A, which is telling the mother, or Stacey D's option of tracking down the woman and beating her brakes off
beating
of
the
her.
brakes out of you, messing up my family, you messing up my home, and what you're not gonna do is hurt my mama. And I'm a daddy's girl, but you're not gonna hurt my mama.
What we're saying is, we want you to look at all of the possible outcomes if you decide to disclose of it. The problem, though, is divided loyalties. Because for those who do not tell, they are essentially lying by omission and feel like they are betraying their mother because you knew your daddy was cheating and you didn't say anything. See, and for those kids who are like, well, I don't think I'm closer to my mother or my father. I love both of these people. And so if I tell on him, I'm going to feel like I'm betraying him. If I don't tell, I feel like I'm betraying my mother. Divided loyalties. And so really the message in this is fathers or mothers, whoever's having an affair, because more and more women are cheating these days. Think about the position that you are putting the whole family in. If you're done with your wife, leave. Now, the problem with this, a lot of cheaters are like, I'm not done with my spouse. I'm just trying to have a little fun. Gitchy, yah on the side. I'm trying to get my yah on the side. Okay, you greedy.
Ooh.
You're being greedy.
Ooh.
And you are doing something that could not only hurt your wife, but it could hurt your kids. And even if they are adults, that does not mean that it does not hurt them and that it could not fracture those relationships. Now, what a person could do who has siblings is talk to the siblings. Talk to the siblings
that's a nice
about, hey,
JP.
Papa's cheating. I caught him with a skank from around the way.
In the projects.
He coming up out the project or trailer park. I caught him.
And she got 6 kids.
And they was dusty. Okay. And half her weave was still in, the other half wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I caught him with this broad.
And she calling him daddy.
Big daddy. And talk to the siblings about, hey, what do you guys think? Do you think I should tell mom? Do you think I should not? I don't know if I can live with looking our mother in the face and knowing that I have this information. She's going to feel betrayed when she eventually finds out, if she ever finds out that I knew. So I'm creating a problem for myself by not saying anything, because what's done in the dark always comes to the light. Cheaters always eventually get caught. And sometimes when they get caught, everybody who knew is under fire also. And so you really need to think about whether or not it's a good idea to not share this information with the father. I'm thinking that the best solution is to say, listen, even if this is an isolated incident, one, you need to go get some help, get some therapy, figure out what type of cheater you are, what of the categories where you fall. And you need to invite mom into couples therapy. And I should not be in a position where I feel like I'm betraying my mother by keeping your dirty, skanky little secret.
I agree.
I think that might be the best way to handle it.
That is a good way. And if that don't work, then go
track her down and beat her down.
Point blank, period.
Look, even if you do decide to do that, you can't still take
and call me. I got 2 bail bonding companies.
Because you gonna end up in jail taking the D's advice.
Because she gonna press charges.
She's going.
But just go. Have a mask on or something so she don't really know who you are, and walk up. Don't drive your car because somebody might get the license plate.
You gonna get our listeners thrown in jail.
But I get them out.
But if you in the Kansas City area, Stacey D could get you out of jail.
I don't care where you are, as long as you're not in Illinois, North Carolina, and South Dakota. Them the only 3 states I can't bond in.
Okay, so for those of you in those states, do not take Stacey D's advice to track down this woman coming out of the trailer park or the projects or wherever you found this broad and beat her down, because the D is not going to be able to get you out of jail.
Not going to be able to help you out, sorry.
All right. Any other thoughts on this, Stacey D?
Nope, I think we summed that up really well.
All right. Are you ready to get to our bonus segment, the dating app experience? This is what we said that we would. Okay, well, first, you've ran into a little bit of a complication because we was trying to do this on the low, but apparently the D has been exposed. Tell us how do they know you?
I don't know. It's about to get a little scary up in here because one guy told me he has Googled me.
But Googling you should not bring up Stacey D. How are they calling you Stacey D?
I don't know how they're calling me Stacey D. Oh, I know, because I guess one of the pictures we have up has KUAW on the. This is really scary because people are doing research. We're not doing enough research.
To you right now.
He probably is. Hi. Yeah, so he seen the KUAW. So one of the pictures you put up must have been for a promo with the KUAW.
Are listening to the show. I did not want that.
Well, you didn't want to put the wrong picture up.
We did. We haven't been saying names though. We haven't been saying names, which is good. Because a listener sent me a message saying, y'all probably shouldn't say their names. So I'm glad that we have not done that. But I didn't want them listening.
Well, you put the wrong picture up.
You gave me the picture.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, the pictures came from you, Stacey D. Okay, so for those of you who are listening.
And I have a lot of out-of-towners, too.
And that are going to be going on these dates with Stacey D. I'm still going to be in that restaurant.
Oh, no.
And so, unfortunately, you're going to know. But what else has happened besides them? Why would they slip and say Stacey D and let you know? See, I would not have let.
He said that he loved calling me Stacey D. Like,
I wouldn't have let you know that I knew that you was a radio personality just to see what you say on the air.
I know, but they don't think like that.
And to see, okay, how many other men am I competing with? Because
quite a few.
We've talked about how many.
Because Stacey D is that chick.
All right, now that's what chick. I'm talking about.
That's that good old self-esteem.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get down a little bit, but I bounce back just like Teflon.
Oh, the D bounce back. The D. Okay, I have a question before we get into this, because what I wanted us to talk about is taking these conversations from a superficial level to a real level where you actually learn about these gentlemen and whether or not you want to go out on dates with them. Now, before we get into that, is this still okay with your friend who is my brother for 30 years?
What did he say?
Because I love the food, okay?
I'm sure you do.
And this is what I want y'all to do. If y'all get to the point where y'all like, listen, this needs to be exclusive. I ain't sharing you with nobody. I ain't sharing you with nobody either. Then
then we're gonna something else.
Then we're gonna find somebody else to step into your place. And we're gonna do this.
So we finna catfish someone?
No. We're not gonna we're not gonna catfish. We're just gonna find somebody else to do this. Okay, but at this point, he didn't say anything. He didn't say he has a problem with it. I'm just if y'all get to that point, okay, because I done set you up with somebody better than these men on this. No offense to those of you who have tracked Stacey D down and who are listening to the show right now, but we talking about my frat brother, okay? So, as long as he's still cool, let's get to the men. Now, at this point, you weeded out a lot of them. Wow.
Yes, I have.
Where did all the men go? Well, this one right up front, I think you need to go out with him. The fireman.
Where is he located?
In Kansas City, 7 miles away from where we are right now.
Because Lord knows, I had people all in Tennessee. I think every state that you went through to get to Tennessee, I have people.
There are men. No, because I didn't leave the country. There were men responding from Dubai and all over the world.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to those.
I weeded them out because they're in Dubai and Australia and Kuwait.
I have a passport. And now I got a pre-TSA.
Okay.
For when I missed my flight, I'm like, oh no, I'll have to figure that one out.
Well, that weeded out a lot of these guys because I restricted your range.
Okay.
But I didn't know how far are you willing to travel? Because
everywhere.
Okay. So we're going to expand the range, but I'm not sure we need to expand because you had hundreds of men coming after you. Now, a lot of what is going on is superficial. I just did a match for you for that fireman.
Okay, cool.
Now, how are the conversations going?
The conversations are going really well. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. I'm real busy, so I really not able to respond. Have a lot of men that loves attention. How come you not responding to me? That's a real bad turnoff because I like attention, but I work a lot, so don't get all upset because I'm not responding to you as soon as you respond to me, because I might get up in the morning and able to respond to about 15 people, and then I might not open it back up again until 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I think some men are seeing that, so they were like, can we take this offline? My number is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Can you let them know, though, that it's not that you're not interested, but you're busy?
They should know that.
No. Don't assume that they know that. Because what they're probably thinking is she's meeting so many men that she has kind of gone off with someone that she feels that she has a connection with, and she doesn't have time for me. So you probably should let them know, do not be offended. It is not that I do not have time, but I am busy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm busy.
I don't want to tell them I'm an entrepreneur.
You talk about that on the show every week. And they're obviously listening because they tracked you down.
They sure did. They Googling me.
So they know. Mm-hmm.
It's my face. Oh, wow.
Okay, explain what Mr. Walker just said.
Mr. Walker said that they can take my face and put it in a computer, and it gives up my whole dossier.
Oh,
really?
Right. So that and just looking up the radio station.
Wow.
Because anybody who calls you Stacey D, they have been eavesdropping in while we do this segment.
Had to, because Stacey D
I called it eavesdropping. We're on the radio.
Is my junior high and high school. If someone called me Stacey D, that means I have went to junior high and high school with you.
Or they're watching you on the show or listening to you or somehow, whatever outlet. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. I still want to know, do you think that these conversations have gotten to a point where it's time to start meeting these people in person? Ooh, that's a lot. What is this, a book? This man sent you a book?
Yeah, I don't respond that much.
You didn't respond to this whole book that this man sent.
Yeah, I don't think but they're very much interested in the Stacey D. I'm not very good with this.
He's checking you.
Yeah, he is. Read it.
I'm trying to holler, and all you doing is laughing out loud. Are you laughing with me or at me? So then, Stacey D, you said with you. So how are you going to holler? Oh, go ahead, D. Go ahead. The D said, how you trying to holler?
How you trying to holler?
And then he sent a book. I guess my options are limited to gifts, text messages, and emojis unless you let me get those digits. When's the last time anybody asked you for those digits? I tried to take it back to the late 80s, early 90s on you. Okay, because he know you've been on the planet for a little bit of time. My apologies, Stacey D. I just realized that me asking you, because you didn't respond, so now he's apologizing. He's like, ooh, let me step back a little bit. I probably should have asked for her phone number. My apologies, Stacey D. Why is he calling you Stacey D? He's listening to us right now. Okay, and I'm going to read your message right now.
Right now.
Okay, my apologies, Stacey D. I just realized that me asking you for your phone number might violate some of the unwritten rules in the dating app world. We have no idea. This is an experiment, essentially. We don't know the rules of the dating app world. Did you know that?
I don't know rules.
You just told something.
I make my own rules anyway.
Thank you for that information. Apparently, they're not supposed to.
Whoa. We get some hits now.
Because he might not like this. I didn't know that was a rule. Thank you for that information, sir. I'm not going to say your name. Unfortunately, I can't go back and delete that post, but I can maybe try to change the narrative a bit. Instead of me asking you to put your information on this app, how about I give you mine and I'll let you make the decision as to whether or not you would like to hear me holla, 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 holla.
This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with.
The hell is going on here? Okay, I will even. There's more.
I know.
I will even.
And I did not respond.
Okay, I like that he took the time to type all this up.
Exactly.
Let's not weed him out.
Okay.
Although it is getting very interesting. I will even throw in my last name so you can do some background checks if you like. Since
he already did background checks on me.
Right. Okay, so he included his last name and his phone number. Please keep in mind that we haven't really shared our stories yet. So for anything you find online about me, I refuse to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Dude, seriously. Now you know she's going to have to look you up.
But guess who didn't?
You didn't?
No.
Guess who's going to? Yeah. And so then there's a gift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what this little gift clip means. You know I've got to start calling you Catfish Stacey now, right? He thinks you're catfishing him because he knows we're doing this on the air. This isn't catfishing. We initially joked that it would be catfishing, but it's not catfishing because this is the real Stacey D. You getting
driving 5.
You getting all deep. You getting real deep. It's not. Is this in any way catfishing?
I don't think so.
Mr. Walker, are we catfishing?
I'm not sure.
He said he's not sure.
I don't think it's catfishing because it really is you.
It's me.
Okay, yeah.
So now, yeah. So how do you want to respond? Let's respond to him right now. What do you want to say to him? Because he typed up a whole book. It could be published. What? Is that a Chris Rock clip? Is that? I think that might be Chris Rock from back in the day. Does that mean he's okay if you slap him?
Because the time is running short.
Okay. Stacey D. This Chris Rock clip might mean that he's okay if you slap the taste out of his
If
mouth.
I slap him,
I have
I'm
no
not
idea.
into the whole physical thing.
Okay. What do you want to say to him?
I don't know. We'll figure it out because we have 2 minutes left.
No, in 2 minutes, we can come up with something that you, because he's listening right now.
I sort of think so.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
First thing, you're not being catfished.
I would speak to my father, my stepfather. I snitched.
We're past that segment. What does it say, though?
It says something about, once again,
Stop shaking that camera, D.
Mr. Walker, why you didn't catch our stuff,
The comments.
our comments?
We had moved on, but the D has ADHD, and she done left this man hanging
He
to
wrote
read
too
a
much.
question about the previous
He wrote
segment.
too much.
It was a thing that said that the real father they would talk to, but the stepfather they'd snitch on.
That's snitch on him.
Ooh, that's foul. What?
Have
They
no
get
love
him put
for
out.
step. No love.
But
for
I know
step.
people who love they stepdaddy.
That
They
is
like,
true.
my real daddy I ain't seen ever. This the man who raised me.
Yeah,
So
there's some.
yeah, but if you don't like your stepfather and he cheating on your mother, then yeah, I guess that would make sense. Okay, to this gentleman, we're gonna say this real quick. 1, you're not being catfished. 2, the D is going to respond, but she doesn't want to be called Catfish D. Is that what he said? Catfish Stacey. She don't want to be called that. And what else do you want to say to him?
Hey. Stop writing so much.
No, because he told a lot. And to the rest of you
Lord.
out there who are listening, because
After I
you
read
tracked her
two
down.
sentences, I don't want to. I'll be like,
She has a little bit of ADHD, but that's okay because type as much as you want because that's the goal, to get to have an idea of who they are. I mean, he just said holla, 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 holla. That tells you a little bit. He's responding. He doesn't like the LOL. So we're going to get back, and Stacey D will be commenting to you. That is our show for today. Thank you all for thank you all for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
and pray about everything.
Thank you, and God bless.
Bye bye now.
We